Aha, so our friend Roger Naylor likes to go hiking and see cool places, and he then likes to eat at really good spots, and he has a special spot for us today. Roger Naylor, tell us about Cottage Place.
Cottage Place has been the Flagstaff's fine dining establishment, premier fine dining establishment for a lot of years. It's just spectacular, and you're going to find out why, and it's hard for me to concentrate because I'm seeing pie, sitting right there.
Thank you, Roger, because you brought executive chef over here, Frank Branham from Cottage Place Restaurant in Flagstaff. Nice to have you on with us.
Nice to meet you, Cindy. Yeah.
Oh, I tell you, it's been smelling so good. You're killing us all here because now we all want to eat some of this. And so tell us a little bit, what Cottage Place, what's its accent? The pictures are adorable. This is truly a little cottage. Tell us about it.
It's located in a historic home built in 1909. It's the Cottage Place Restaurant. It's kind of French and American flair in the style of food. We do tableside rack of lamb and Chateaubriand, and one of the things we're famous for is our soups. And we've been voted Best of Fine Dining in Flagstaff for 20 years. And we've had the Wine Spectator Award of Excellence for about 20 years as well. So we've brought a few bottles of wine today as well.
Aha, yes, we see our wine over there. We see some delicious food. And why don't we get started with what you're going to do, and we'll talk as we cook a bit too. Okay. So you're going to make something for us today.
Right. It's a winter squash soup. It's creamy. And we made it out of French pumpkins out of our own garden. They've kind of cross-pollinated with a few other squash, so they have lots of different colors to them. And anyway, so it's a nice creamy soup, has a wonderful winter squash flavor, a hint of fall spices, a little bit of curry, a little bit of chipotle chili powder, and a nice apple flavor to it. So we're going to get started making it. And we do cooking classes, and we also have a cookbook. And one of the things we do is we make this quick chicken stock, which gives a lot of our soups a really nice savory flavor. And so we've started off with the chicken stock here, and like I said, we're going to add some fall spices to that. That's some cinnamon and nutmeg. We also have a little bit of curry, salt, and chipotle powder. And since to accent the soup, sort of like with pumpkin pie, a little bit of brown sugar. And then we are going to add some apple juice. And during the season, we used apples off our own tree that's right outside the Cottage Place.
Oh, for heaven's sake, this is like wassail soup or something. Except the curry, what did you say that other one was? The chipotle. That's an unusual thing to put in.
You know, I started doing that because people in Arizona wanted a little bit of kick. But I just really like the smokiness of it, so I use a lot of chipotle. You don't always taste it exactly, but it adds a nice
it's in that
background flavor.
And people will be going, what is that? What is that I can, you know, taste in there? Because it's kind of hard to do. Well, you know, you act like you know what you've been doing. I mean, you know, you've been in cooking for a while, have you, Frank? What's your background?
35 years. Yep.
35 years, okay.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
And actually, I call it the Culinary School of Hard Knocks. I have a degree in history, and then there was another recession, you know, and I got a job in a kitchen at Timberline Lodge in Oregon, and I stayed with that chef for 8 years, and then I've gone on to do my own thing after that.
Amazing. And you said you love it. Here's your true calling. You never know what your true calling is going to be doing.
I would have never been happy just being in a classroom, I don't think.
Isn't that
something? I do like to teach, and so we do teach cooking classes. And so that's a little bit of roux. Roux is a paste of butter and flour we use for thickening soups. And
that's very French, isn't it?
Very French. And we add a little bit of onions to it, which gives the roux a little bit of its own flavor. And now let's talk about the squash. So start off with, I cut the squash in, you know, to segments, scrape all the seeds and membranes out, and we roast it for about an hour at 350 degrees. And then it comes out like this, and you let it cool so you can handle it easily. And then we're going to take
scrape that meat out of the middle
right off, and you don't have to worry about the peel too much, but try to avoid it. And whoops, might be a little more tricky than I thought.
Some of those blenders are very stubborn, you know.
It's a very powerful blender, but no, you know, you don't even really have to blend the squash, but by blending it, you make the soup really smooth. And I'm going to use a little bit of our stock to thicken it, or to puree it in.
Boy, that'll add a lot of flavor to that as well,
I guess. And you don't add water to thin it down, so just a second
doesn't
in the blender.
Dilute your flavors. All right, a little noise here. Wow, yeah, that did kind of like knock that out fast, didn't it?
It does. Oh, and when you're pureeing something hot like that, you know that the centrifugal force and the steam combined will raise it up in the blender, so be careful not to blow
it can knock the lid right off and burn you. It's
I've had some very exciting times and stained a lot of jackets.
I think all of us sort of had. I actually take a towel sometimes and put over it, you know, the lid.
I do as well, yes.
So you're putting your, so that puree goes into the stock that you've built. Oh my gosh, that
Let's
looks
see if we
so
can,
good. Hey, you know, I have to tell people that this recipe is on Facebook, so yeah,
It is?
get on there and look at it because you have a cookbook, a beautiful cookbook,
Thank
and
you.
it's won some national awards too, Frank.
It has. It won an IPPY award, which is an International Independent Book Publishers Award.
Nice.
And it was a great honor. And the book has been really successful. And people say they enjoy just reading the stories because I wasn't too proud in telling some of my horror stories and how I learned some things the hard way.
Culinary
The
school.
hard knocks, yes. So there's some great stories in there. There's a nice essay on how to build flavors. Talks about all the different components we would have in a soup like this. We have great soup recipes. There's great entrees. A lot of the things we're really famous for in the restaurant, including some of these desserts that we have on display.
Look at
like another
those.
fall item. We have our pumpkin cheesecake, which will run all fall until Thanksgiving or so.
I know some people out there in our crew are coveting that. Anyway, yes.
And a pecan tart, which seemed to get Roger Naylor's
That's what-
attention there. And
that's what he
the
wants.
French silk pie, which is a buttery chocolate mousse.
Ooh, isn't
And,
that interesting? It looks so good.
Well, great.
And what is it? What is this right here?
This is actually my Arizona cream. It's a fat-free panna cotta. So it's fat-free yogurt, skim milk, honey, nutmeg, lemon juice, lemon zest, and
Gosh,
nutmeg.
is there a recipe in the book?
That recipe's in the book. That's kind of a signature for us.
Okay, that
All
looks
of these
good.
are in the book, actually.
All right, and so how do you finish this soup real fast?
Okay,
And then
so we're
I
going
think
to add
we got
a
it.
little bit of apple to it. So
Okay.
this is, actually these are Gala apples, and we just let those cook right into the soup. And it needs to simmer out. I wasn't quite able to get the temperature where I wanted it on this.
Sure.
But it needs to simmer out for about 10 minutes to cook the starch
Okay.
out of the roux. And then it will be done. And we can ladle it up here. Could you hand me that bowl?
Oh my goodness, yes.
We garnish it in a variety of different ways, but so it has a nice piece of apple in it, and scrape that off.
So those little chunks of apple, you don't puree it again.
I
You
don't
leave those.
puree it again,
Okay.
and they add a really nice fresh apple taste to it, and then a little bit more texture.
Oh, you give me a spoon. I'm going to test that right now.
Oh, you bet. There you go. Okay.
All right, Executive Chef Frank Branham of Cottage Place Restaurant in Flagstaff. Thanks for joining us. Beautiful. I cannot wait.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see how this is. Oh, Frank, this is really, really good. He knows what he's doing. I'm not kidding you. Thank you so much.
Great.
Delicious.
Thanks, Sandy.
And thank you, Roger. We're going to let you have a dessert.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for being
Thank
here.
heavens. Oof.
All right, and don't go away. We'll be right back.